When I was younger, my cousin's favorite color was blue, and me being a little kid decided my favorite color would also be blue. So then became a period of blue birthday cakes, blue backpacks, and blue bikes. One day at school, my teacher was doing an art project, and she asked us all to pick a blue piece of paper. And my classmates instantly asked why we're all choosing boy colors. Now I was bothered by this, so I spent some time thinking about it. But I eventually decided that there was no reason for me not to like blue, and I continued to choose my blue colors. As I went on, I began to notice the way people acted when I said certain things or did certain things. When I told people I was a dancer, I was instantly met with a chorus of, "Dancing isn't a sport, it's for girls." And when I had an opinion to express in class, I was instantly labeled as loud and bossy. It took some time for me to understand why I was met with negative responses. It took some time for me to understand that my gender had prompted these reactions. And it took years for me to understand that sexism was so deeply ingrained in people's mindsets that it impacted my favorite color when I was 5 years old. Sexism is a widespread reality in today's society, and it impacts almost every aspect of life. And now the question presented to us is, how do we stand up to sexism? How do we eliminate something so deeply ingrained within our society that it's part of our everyday lives? Sexism isn't something that can just be masked, it must be eradicated from its roots, and to do that, we need conversation and we need education. Sexist comments and microaggressions can be intentional and they can be unintentional, but they often come from a place of misunderstanding and lack of knowledge. A classmate once told me that there were fewer women in STEM subjects simply because women didn't try hard enough. And the lack of knowledge in this statement surprised me. Just because statistically, physicists, chemists, and biologists were more likely to choose male scientists over equally qualified women and award them with higher salaries. Any reluctance to join certain fields is simply because of harassment in the workplace and a constant unrecognition for a person's worth. It's terrifying to enter a game in which the odds are stacked against you. It's terrifying to enter a room as a minority and continue to fight a seemingly helpless battle. And it's terrifying to pursue one's passion with perseverance and hard work, only to be told you look silly and unqualified because of your gender. So the truth of the matter is that women work just as hard, even twice as hard to achieve their goals. So let's educate ourselves and look around ourselves and learn about what we see. But education is only as important as the conversation that follows it. Don't just learn about the wage gap. Don't just learn about STEM, male dominance in STEM fields. Talk about it. Create conversation. Conversation is what spreads ideas, and it's what changes this cause into a reality. Women, look for similar stories. Talk to people. But men, talk about your experiences. Talk about what you learned. Because women don't have to be the only one leading this conversation. The most important part of standing up to sexism is unity. And the worst obstacle we face when we're trying to do this is overcoming our own privilege and understanding the own privilege we have. Men, it doesn't make you a weaker person to acknowledge someone else's strength. It makes you an equal. White women, it doesn't take away from your rights to share them with women of color. It makes your voice 10 times stronger. So let's stand together and get rid of our privileges to abolish gender bias. I believe in the strength of women. I believe that without ceilings, we will have no limits. I believe we're strong. I believe we're qualified, and I believe we are capable. And I believe that this is just the beginning for a fight that is long overdue, and that if we are willing to talk and we are willing to learn, that this will be a reality. So let's raise our voices for the people who can't. And let's talk about what we need to do. And let's change our world. As Hillary Clinton once said, human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are humans' rights, once and for all.